Hello, and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're stepping back in time, or at least we're wearing watches that make it feel that way. Vintage-inspired watches have become one of the most beloved and passionately discussed categories in contemporary watchmaking, and for good reason. They connect us to a golden era of watch design, the 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s, when the great manufacturers were producing tool watches of extraordinary purpose and beauty, unburdened by the need to impress with complexity, and free to achieve something rarer and more enduring. Pure, honest design that has never stopped looking right. Today we're counting down 10 of the finest vintage-inspired watches available right now, from remarkable entry-level values to the most prestigious reissues in the industry. Let's get started. Number 10. Seiko 5 Sports SRP. The Seiko 5 Sports SRPD is one of the most extraordinary value propositions in the entire watch world. A fully automatic mechanical watch with genuine sport watch credentials, a day-date display, and the kind of honest, purposeful design that far more expensive watches spend considerable effort trying to replicate. Available at a price that makes it accessible to virtually anyone with even a passing interest in mechanical watchmaking. The SRPD family draws on the visual language of Seiko's own celebrated sport watches of the 1960s and 1970s. Bold case shapes, high contrast dials, and a directness of expression that requires no justification and offers no apology. The in-house automatic movement is regulated to entirely respectable standards and provides the fundamental pleasure of a watch that runs on nothing but the kinetic energy of your wrist. The wide variety of dial colors, case shapes, and strap options available across the SRPD range makes it endlessly customizable, and an active global community of enthusiasts trades modifications and alternatives that can transform this affordable platform into something genuinely individual. For a first mechanical watch or a casual daily wearer, the Seiko 5 Sports SRPD has no meaningful competition at its price. The Seiko 5 Sports SRPD retails for approximately $280 USDs. Number 9. Tissot Heritage Visodate. The Tissot Heritage Visodate is a loving and technically faithful recreation of one of the most charming and visually distinctive Swiss watch designs of the 1950s, the original Visodate, whose defining innovation was the date aperture positioned at the 12 o'clock position rather than the conventional 3, allowing the date to be read at the top of the dial without repositioning the wrist. That small, thoughtful detail is the kind of functional ingenuity that characterized Swiss watchmaking at its most inventive, and Tissot has honored it completely in this modern reissue, without sanitizing or modernizing away the elements that made the original so appealing. The warm, slightly domed dial with its applied indices and Dauphine hands communicates the unhurried elegance of mid-century Swiss design with complete authenticity, while the Powermatic 80 automatic movement inside provides an exceptional 80-hour power reserve alongside the reliability that Tissot's Swiss manufacture consistently delivers. The Tissot Heritage Visodate is a watch that rewards those who look closely, and it wears its historical references with the quiet confidence of a design that has always known it was right. The Tissot Heritage Visodate retails for approximately $625 USD. Number 8. Orient Bambino. The Orient Bambino is a masterpiece of accessible dress watch design, a timepiece that achieves a level of visual elegance and classical refinement so far beyond its price point that it consistently surprises and delights everyone who encounters it for the first time. The Bambino's domed crystal, curved case, and beautifully proportioned dial with its applied Arabic numerals and slender hands are direct references to the elegant dress watches of the 1950s and early 1960s. And Orient executes that visual language with a fidelity and quality of finishing that would be remarkable at twice the price. The in-house automatic movement is a genuine Orient manufacture caliber, not a modified base ébauché, but a movement designed, built, and regulated by Orient's own engineers, providing the mechanical satisfaction of a handcrafted automatic at an entry-level price that no competitor has been able to match. The wide range of dial colors available across the Bambino lineup, from classic white and black to deep navy and rich burgundy, ensures there is a version that suits every personal style and every occasion. The Orient Bambino retails for approximately $200 USD. Number 7. Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical. The Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical is one of the most authentic expressions of American military watch heritage available in the modern market. A timepiece that connects its wearer directly to the long and distinguished history of Hamilton's service to the United States Armed Forces, who relied on Hamilton watches throughout the 20th century for precision timekeeping in conditions where the consequences of inaccuracy were measured in lives rather than inconvenience. The Khaki Field Mechanical is powered entirely by hand winding, a deliberate and entirely appropriate design choice for a military field watch that eliminates the dependency on wrist movement for power and places the discipline of daily winding directly in the hands of the wearer, exactly as the original military issue watches demanded. The dial is organized with the no-nonsense clarity of a working instrument, bold Arabic numerals, high contrast hands, generous lume application, and a complete absence of decorative elements that serve no functional purpose. The ETA manual wind movement inside is reliable, robust, and entirely appropriate for the honest, purposeful character of this watch. The Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical retails for approximately $425 USD. Number 6. Bulova Lunar Pilot Chronograph. The Bulova Lunar Pilot Chronograph carries one of the most extraordinary and least widely known stories in the entire history of the wristwatch. A version of this watch was actually worn on the surface of the moon during the Apollo 15 mission in August 1971, when astronaut Dave Scott used it as a backup timing instrument after his issued Omega Speedmaster crystal cracked during the mission. That single moment of operational history gives the lunar pilot a genuine claim to lunar provenance that very few watches in the world can honestly make. The modern reissue honors that legacy with a faithful recreation of the original's bold chronograph dial layout, including the distinctive 24-hour scale that allowed astronauts to track mission time, independently of the conventional 12-hour display. Bulova's high-frequency movement, Bulbotep beating at 262/144 Hz compared to the 28,800 Hz of a conventional high-beat mechanical, provides timing accuracy that surpasses most mechanical chronographs at any price, achieving a precision entirely appropriate for a watch with NASA heritage. The Bulova Lunar Pilot Chronograph retails for approximately $595 USD. Number 5. Longines Heritage Classic. The Longines Heritage Classic arrives with the full weight of one of Switzerland's oldest and most distinguished watchmaking traditions behind it, a manufacturer that has been producing timepieces in Saint-Imier since 1832, and whose archives of original designs, movements, and dial specifications represent one of the deepest and most carefully preserved reservoirs of watchmaking history in the entire industry. The Heritage Classic draws directly from those archives, recreating the proportions, dial layouts, and aesthetic sensibility of Longines' most celebrated mid-century designs, with a precision and historical fidelity that reflects genuine curatorial respect for the originals. The cushion case, the applied Arabic numerals, the small second sub-dial at 6 o'clock, and the warm cream or silver dial surface all speak the language of post-war Swiss watchmaking with complete fluency and considerable beauty. The in-house automatic movement is finished and regulated to the standard that Longines' position among Switzerland's historic manufacturers demands. For those who understand that heritage, properly honored, produces something no amount of contemporary design can replicate, the Longines Heritage Classic is a deeply rewarding timepiece. The Longines Heritage Classic retails for approximately $1,250 USD. Number 4. Rado Captain Cook. The Rado Captain Cook is one of the great vintage watch revival stories of the modern era, a recreation of Rado's own celebrated 1962 dive watch that arrived in its reissued form and immediately captured the attention of the watch community, with a combination of historical authenticity, contemporary material innovation, and visual charm that placed it among the most desirable watches at any price in its segment. The original Captain Cook was a bold, adventurous design that reflected the optimism and exploratory spirit of the early 1960s, and the modern reissue honors that character completely. The distinctive anchor logo on the dial, the bronze-toned indices, the domed crystal, and the overall sense of purposeful, warm-blooded character that distinguishes it from the cooler, more clinical aesthetic of many contemporary dive watch revivals. Rado's trademark use of high-tech ceramic in selected versions of the Captain Cook adds a material dimension entirely unavailable to the original designers, delivering a scratch resistance and surface quality that rewards daily wear in ways that traditional steel cannot match. The automatic movement inside is regulated to entirely respectable standards for a watch at this price. The Rado Captain Cook retails for approximately $1,950 USD. Number 3. Oris Divers 65. The Oris Divers 65 is one of the most warmly received and widely celebrated watch introductions of the past decade. A vintage-inspired dive watch that arrives so completely and confidently resolved in every aspect of its design, construction, and character that it immediately established itself as the reference point against which all other vintage dive watch revivals would be measured, and, more often than not, found slightly wanting. Named for the year of the original Oris diver that inspired it, the 65 recreates the aesthetic of 1960s dive watch design, with a faithfulness that reflects genuine archival research. The domed crystal, the curved case with its characteristically wide lugs, the textured dial, the pencil-style hands, and the overall sense of rounded, organic warmth that distinguishes vintage dive watch design from the harder-edged aesthetic of more recent sport watches. Oris is an independent Swiss manufacturer that produces mechanical watches exclusively, a commitment of genuine philosophical substance, and the Diver 65's automatic movement reflects the brand's deep belief in the value and integrity of purely mechanical timekeeping. The Oris Diver 65 retails for approximately $900 USD. Number 2. Tudor Black Bay 58. The Tudor Black Bay 58 is the most precisely and lovingly resolved vintage dive watch revival that any major Swiss manufacturer has produced in the modern era. A timepiece so historically faithful, so beautifully proportioned, and so completely correct in every detail of its execution that it has become not merely a successful product, but a genuine horological event that permanently altered the conversation around what a vintage-inspired watch at this price level can and should aspire to be. The name derives from 1958, the year Tudor produced its first dive watch rated to 200 meters, and every dimension of the 58 pays direct tribute to that reference. The 39mm case diameter, the gilt-style dial finish available in the black and navy variants, the riveted leather or fabric strap, the snowflake hands, the domed crystal. Each element is the product of careful archival study and an uncompromising decision to honor the original rather than merely reference it. The in-house Tudor manufacture caliber provides cost-level precision and a 70-hour power reserve from a movement that Tudor developed, builds, and regulates entirely without external assistance. In an era when vintage-inspired watches frequently sacrifice historical integrity for contemporary taste, the Black Bay 58 refuses that compromise entirely, and the result is one of the most satisfying watches at any price available today. The Tudor Black Bay 58 retails for approximately $3,825 USD. Number 1. Omega Seamaster 300 Heritage. The Omega Seamaster 300 Heritage stands at the very top of this countdown as the single most complete, most historically authoritative, and most deeply considered vintage-inspired watch in the modern market. A timepiece that does not merely look back to the golden age of the tool watch, but reaches into it with both hands and returns with something of genuine, lasting substance. The original Seamaster 300 of 1957 was among the first generation of purpose-built professional dive watches produced by a major Swiss manufacturer, part of the legendary trio of Omega professional tool watches introduced that year alongside the Railmaster and the Speedmaster, and its combination of robust construction, outstanding water resistance, and boldly legible dial design established a template for diving watch excellence that echoed through every subsequent decade of the category's development. The Heritage reissue honors that original with a fidelity and depth of historical research that sets it apart from every other vintage revival on this list. The Broad Arrow Hands. Omega's signature mid-century hand style, named for their distinctive shape. The large luminous dot at 12 o'clock. The tropical brown dial available in select references. The sword hands of the standard version. And the overall proportional balance of the 38mm case all speak with complete authority from the historical record rather than from contemporary interpretation. The master chronometer certified in-house movement inside, provides 15,000 Gauss magnetic resistance, COS level accuracy, and the mechanical quality and finishing standard expected of a manufacturer that has been producing movements of the very highest caliber in Beal for over a century and a half. The Seamaster 300 Heritage achieves something that the greatest vintage-inspired watches always manage and most never quite reach. It makes you feel not that you are wearing a modern watch designed to look old, but that you are wearing a piece of history that happens to be perfectly, timelessly, and completely alive. The Omega Seamaster 300 Heritage retails for approximately $6,300 USD, and Repri